ready. We're going to open up with a brief statement from Coach. We'll take some questions for players after that. So without Coach.
So we went in the locker room after the game, and I told the players, losing stinks, right? Losing is not fun, and it's awful. It's just a bad feeling. So if it's that bad, regardless of who we're playing, regardless of how we played, if we walk in here with one more point than the other team, we're going to celebrate it. We are going to be happy, and we are going to celebrate it because winning is hard to do. It's hard to get wins in women's basketball. So I'm proud of our team. There are things that we are going to be able to correct and continue to build on, but I'm proud that we were better than we were a week ago. All right, I think we improved from our last game to this game, and I think we had some aha moments maybe in practice this week that was really good. So it was a gutsy team we played tonight, but I'm proud of our team for making the plays when we need to make them.
Questions?
For Shannon and Jayla, for both of you, where do you guys feel like this team is better than it was a week ago?
I think just our grit and our want-to, especially in those final minutes. That was probably just our biggest factor, just coming out with the win.
I really feel like we're just a little more bought in, like trying to do what Coach is telling us to do, just making the mistakes and fixing them in practice every day, just doing what the coaches ask of us.
Shannon finished the game with 23 free throw attempts. What was it like for you and your mindset to constantly going into the paint, drawing that contact? Just play it out. What was it like from your perspective?
We came out of a huddle, and the coaches told me to keep driving it, keep doing what's working. They put me in great positions to be able to drive and get to the basket, so I just kept doing what was working for me.
At any point were you ever scared of getting hit, or was it just keep going moving?
Oh, no. Yeah, I wasn't thinking that.
For Jayla, you hit that kind of hook floater late in the end of the game. Can you kind of walk me through that possession, what was going on for you?
I would say the same thing, attack the basket, but then just getting the job done. I think it was very important just to feel like to close the game. Yeah, exciting moment, but as long as we got the win, that's all I'm saying.
Jayla, moving forward without Avery Conkey for the season, you're going to have to step up a lot more. What's that going to look like for you?
Just confidence, doing what Coach says, being aggressive. Board's defense, I think that's just my first step. I think everything will come along with that.
For both Jayla and Shannon, both the exhibition game and now this close games in the last 2 minutes where it was tied at one point, what's it like playing in that experience and kind of that live ball reps early in the season?
I would say it's tense, but then you just got to lock in. You got to relax. Like I was telling Chloe, I was looking at Shannon, looking at Grace, looking at JD. Just relax, focus on what we need to do to get the win.
I definitely think staying close as a team and staying together is a big thing. I mean, all players want to be in at the end of the game, so I mean, that's obviously a trust thing. So just making sure that we keep the trust of Coach and just getting it done.
Harper, the team had some problems last year, especially in the third quarter, with keeping a steady pace and holding a strong lead and staying focused. What have you been implementing in practices to really kind of break that third quarter curse?
Yeah, I think for us, we haven't really compared our team last year to this year in that regard. I think every year is different, even if it's the same staff. I think every year is different. I think every team is different. I think once we get a few games under our belt, we'll see where our trends are. And, it could be, a deficient quarter here or there. It could be, something that we have to look at. Anytime that I've coached a deficient third quarter, we look at what we do at halftime. We look at what our players look like when they come out from halftime. So anytime we see something trending, we're going to definitely address it.
Do we have any more for the players? All right.
Good job.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, Jim.
All right, now we're going to open up questions to Coach.
Coach, when you look at your team scoring the final 7 points there, is that the kind of grit and competitive drive you were talking about last week?
Yeah, I think, I talk a lot about drawing a line in the sand, and at that point, you've got to do it. You've got to you've got to understand the urgency to get a stop. You've got to understand the urgency to get the score. And I think they felt it, and I thought they were locked in. I think they had confidence going down the stretch, and that was good to see.
Coach, another game under 30% from three. How are you guys going to correct this going in for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think we have good shooters. We haven't shot the ball well yet. There's no doubt we need to shoot the ball well for us to be playing at our best. We'll go back and we'll look at every shot that we took and kind of grade it, see is it a good shot. And I think that what's going to happen, the better shots that we take, that's where you're going to see our makes. And we shoot a lot in practice. We shoot a lot outside of practice. So we're getting the volume that we need. Right now, we've got to be able to apply to game setting, and we had a couple really good looks and just just missed them. So I think we just need to evaluate the shots we took and see where we can make some corrections.
What is that guard play going to look like without Avery?
Well, you're gonna see a little bit of round robin. I mean, we subbed in and out quite a bit. Had to move Shannon and Chloe to the point. Avery was really the heartbeat of this team, and it honestly still is. I mean, she gives them so much. She has such a great spirit about her, and loves this team. So that was hard to see. It's hard to see her not get to play. I hate it for her more than anything. I also hate it for our team, but it's sports. I know we can go look at the quarterbacks just across the street, and they're going through the same thing. So you have to have a next person up mentality, and I think our players did a really good job of the last few days of practice. Understanding maybe everybody's got a little bit different role now, and I thought our coaches did a good job of putting our players in position to be successful throughout that.
Kind of with the other three players who are DNPs tonight, what's kind of the update on them and the stats for when they may be able to return to the court?
Yeah, I think Sanaya will be maybe the next in line for getting back. We don't have a hard timeline on that, but she's progressing pretty quickly throughout her rehab, and hope to get her back sooner rather than later.
Coach, what was it like playing with that 9-woman rotation tonight, and I guess moving forward until Sanaya's healthy?
Yeah, we do it every day in practice, right? Well, right now we do it every day in practice, but it sure does look different when you're in a game setting. 9 is that's short. It's very short, but I mean, players want to play. If you'd asked me, I'd want to play 40 minutes. So I think for us right now, we just have to have players playing multiple positions. Every minute counts. Even players that came in, Mariah Vincent played 3 minutes. Those 3 minutes are important, and that's where they have to have that buy-in. They have to understand those 3 minutes are important, because those 3 minutes are that's given us confidence so that next game, if we have some foul trouble, those 3 minutes just went to 13, right? So I think people are playing different positions. They're open to that. They're open to doing whatever they need to do to help this rotation work.
Coach, without Hannah right now, you're seeing Grace play more of that big role. How are you guys going to adjust if Jordan does get into foul trouble?
Well, you're right. We have to play. Grace at the 5, and that brings in Mariah Vincent a little bit at the 4, or Rika Toman at the 4. We could always play small with Abby Schreck at the 4, but now we don't have a lot of guards over there, so you don't want to be doing that. We just have to be really smart and really thoughtful about how we play and how we are strategic about our subs when we do have fouls.
Coach, Jordana finishes 35 minutes, double-double, gets the big basket at the end. What did you see from her, especially on that last kind of possession?
Yeah, she didn't get as many touches as we would have liked. Her only getting 6 shots is probably a little low for us. I thought we missed her a few times. I got to give UCA's defense a little credit there. They were really collapsing in, trying to keep the ball out of her hands. Shannon had a heck of a screen in that last possession that Jordana scored that big bucket. So that matters. Your execution is not just throw it at somebody and let them score. Sometimes it's setting it up. Sometimes it's the screening action, the cuts. And that particular one, it was Chloe made a good pass, but Shannon had a great screen.
Okay, free throws attempted. Obviously, a coach's dream, but what's the sustainability of that moving forward?
Yeah, I think what we do, we try to put our players in position to be successful. And, you know, for us, if we can get downhill, then I think that's going to lend itself to us getting to the free throw line. So I do think we will play that way in a lot of games. You know, we're not the biggest, most athletically physical team defensively, so we're not going to be a high number of fouls. We're not going to foul a lot. Let me say that better. And I think we're going to trend that way as well. So I think we would like to play with that discrepancy a little bit. I don't know if we'll see that number again. Shannon was just really doing a great job of getting downhill, and I mean, you should have seen my board. I was coloring in the paint and telling them to get there, right? We wanted to get there, whether that was off the pass or off the dribble. And they did a really good job of buying in.
If and when that the free throw doesn't work, when you can't get into the paint, what is kind of the fallback that you think this team can do?
Well, I think for us, we went there because we weren't making threes. To your point, you know, if those threes aren't falling, you got to find something else. And so I think for us, we'll have that balance. But if we're not getting to the free throw line, we've got to be making threes. And we've got to be scoring on the block with our post play. So, I mean, there's only so many ways we're going to be able to score. So I think we've got to be knocking down outside shots.
In the final 2.5 minutes, you held Central Arkansas to no made field goals. What did you guys change defensively to win the game?
In the last 2.5 minutes, we changed our ball screen coverage. That's the only thing we changed. We had gone out of our zone at about middle of the fourth quarter, and we didn't go back to it. We went ball screen coverage, which is very typical. Late ball screen coverage for most teams in that situation, you're going to see a lot of switches, and that's what we were able to do late.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank y'all for coming.
Just a note,